So it's no secret that I was a little bit sour earlier this year when the screen on the Surface Laptop Studio 2 was frankly terrible for games and pretty much great for everything else but that. It had a very bad response time. Worst of any display pretty much ever, and that's no exaggeration. See my videos for the details on that, but it's true. However, there was still one last chance to make the Surface line of devices work for me. Enter, ba-ba-da-ba, the Surface Pro 9. Wait, you say, how could this 2-in-1 tablet from last year with the 12th gen CPU work better than the newly minted Surface Laptop Studio 2? Well, for starters, it also has a 120 Hz display, but unlike the Surface Laptop Studio 2, it actually has pretty decent response times, actually better than most devices, which is I want to say surprising, but it shouldn't be surprising. These are higher end devices. They should have really decent screen with decent response times. And the Surface Pro 9 does quite well, which it at least has that going for it. Now, what it doesn't have is dedicated graphics. It has an integrated graphics, which can't even begin to compare with the RTX 4050 or 4060 in the Surface Laptop Studio 2. Now, I've done testing with eGPUs. This has a Thunderbolt 4 port. And while an eGPU is a good solution for boosting productivity when you're at a stationary desk, it's not really a great travel companion, not easy to carry around. So, where does that take us? Well, let's enter one more device. So GPD. I don't know if I've talked about GPD on my channel before. I have had a few GPD Win devices. They are not known as a graphics card maker. They are known as a handheld computer maker. And they have recently released the G1. And the G1 is this: a very slim, capable external graphics card, which works over both Thunderbolt but also Oculink. Now, for pairing with the Surface Pro 9, you definitely will want to use the Thunderbolt 4 because you could use Oculink over the M2, but then you wouldn't have any storage. So you'd have to get really creative with that. And so anyways, Thunderbolt's the way to go for this particular device. So taking more cues from the Asus XG Mobile than the large eGPU enclosures of old, this device feels more like a Surface dock than a beefy graphics solution. Here's a shot of it next to my Oros gaming box that I've had kicking around for a few years. Keep in mind that previously to the G1, the Oros gaming box is one of the smallest eGPU enclosures that exist. Also, if you compare it to a normal laptop adapter, the G1 is not much bigger. And that's the other thing. The G1 is not just an external graphics, it's also a very powerful USB-C power delivery device. It has a built-in AC adapter to get you the power you need through the Thunderbolt 4 cable. It also does serve as an actual dock. We have HDMI, display port, 2 of those, an SD card slot, and 3 a USB 3.0 or 3.1 slots. Not quite sure exactly. But there's a lot of utility here, and this gives you a ton in a very small package. It's not necessarily inexpensive. It still costs around $600 to $700 for this device, so it is much more than just an external GPU. But let's talk about what's actually in this thing, because it doesn't do us any good if it's not fairly powerful. At that point, we may as well just get a Surface Laptop Studio 1 or something like that with a 3050 Ti on it. So what does this have in it? Well, it has a 7600M XT from AMD. And that is an RDNA 3.0 device. It is a 6 nanometer device, has 8 gigabytes of RAM. It comes with firmwares for 80 watt, 100 watt, and 120 watt. I'll be using the stock default 100 watt for this device, but if you want the fan speed to be a little bit quieter, you can go with the 80 watt firmware, or if you want maximum performance, you can go the 120 watt route at the expense of noise. So this has 2048 shading units and 32 RT cores. It should really be on par with the 4060. And we'll do a few tests here and see how it holds up. So let me show you how easy this hooks up. Once you have the driver installed, which is very easy, you just download it and install it and you're good to go. You plug it in and it does have a power button. After waiting, just a few minutes, it actually pops up with a little external GPU display connected icon in the taskbar, which I've actually never seen because I've always used NVIDIA eGPUs. But what I will say is this was a lot easier to install than NVIDIA. There's that AMD X Connect. External AMD graphics has been connected. If you right click it, it'll show you which programs are using it, and you can eject the graphics really easily. No blue screens, no issues. I've had lots of blue screens working with eGPUs on my Surface Pro 9 in the past, but this device works flawlessly so far. No crashes at all. And you can just power it off, disconnect it, and you're good to go. It's a very easy device to use. All right, so let's talk about one more little Achilles heel of the G1. It is a Thunderbolt 4 eGPU, and whenever we use eGPU, there's discrepancies between using the display on the device and using the display with an external monitor. And I'm going to show you both numbers. So we are looking at Final Fantasy first, and in those benchmarks, when we look at the G1, it's using the 7600M XT, which is the red GPU there. It got a 6636 when using the Surface Pro 9 display, which you can see right here is a little bit better than the Surface Laptop Studio 1 with 3050 Ti, and kind of on par with, Surface Book 3. So not a super great showing right here. But, however, look at the numbers on an external display. We're all the way down here, and in this territory, we score a 10,569, which is more in line with the 3070 mobile, the Z13 with the 4050, the X16 2022 with the 3070 Ti. So you're seeing some really good numbers here with the G1 when using it with an external display. And in fact, if you compare that to the Surface Laptop Studio 2, we're just a few percentage points difference, although Surface Laptop Studio 2 is running that 4060 mobile. So yeah, that is the Final Fantasy benchmark. Let's move on to a Time Spy. We look at the Time Spy scores. These ones are a little bit closer together. So the Time Spy using the internal display, so the Surface Pro 9's display, you can see that the Time Spy scored a 6874, which puts it on par with the G14 2021, and also very close to the X16 2022, kind of in that range, and also puts it well ahead of the Surface Laptop Studio 1, which got a 5447 with its 3050 Ti. Now, if we look at it on the external display, you can see that the 7600M XT or the G1, GPD G1, we're now getting upwards of 8,918 using the external display, which puts it on par with something like the 2022 X16 with the 3060 mobile, or the 2023 X13 with the 4070 mobile. Keep in mind that X13's limited to 65 watts. So yeah, we're getting roughly a 4060. Here's the Surface Laptop Studio 2 with the 4060 scoring just higher than it with 9387. So it's not exactly beating the Laptop Studio 2 by any means, but it can give something like the Surface Pro 9 a massive uplift in performance, because if you compared the Surface, or sorry, if you compare the Surface Pro 9 by itself with its integrated graphics, you wouldn't be seeing anything close to this. And at the same time, you have a super thin and light tablet, so you get kind of the best of all worlds with this device, plugging into an external GPU. That external GPU is not much bigger than any AC adapter that you're going to be plugging this into anyways. So this combination becomes something actually viable to carry around. Now, I don't know if this is for everyone, and frankly, I don't know if it's actually for me personally either. But I think it is really cool that we are starting to see something like this. It's a shame that it takes a Chinese manufacturer to actually give us a decent, compatible, small, compact external GPU solution. That's just, I mean, this is a no-brainer. This is what we've been wanting. This is what the XG Mobile kind of was. I mean, this is very similar to an XG Mobile, but it's more compatible. It's more compatible with devices. So any Thunderbolt, if you have some sort of ultrabook that has Thunderbolt 4, this might be a no-brainer for you as an upgrade. And I say that, and I wish GPD would have actually sent me this to review or sponsor. I paid my own money for this. But I think a device like this is cool enough that and not many people know that it even exists, that I think more people should know that this exists, just so they can have a solution. Because, I mean, man, this thing is light, it's powerful, and a lot of performance over it, especially over integrated graphics, which a lot of these Thunderbolt 4 laptops from Dell, Lenovo, they make some really cool ultrabooks. They're making cool like 2-in-1s with dual screens. This would be an awesome pairing for those things because it's portable. You can slip it in your bag. You can carry it around. And I'm super excited about it. It's a really neat thing that lets you, because so many of us, we want something thin and light that we can create on, we can draw on, we can take notes on, but then you want a game and then you end up, I got to carry a tablet and then I got to carry a gaming laptop. Not anymore. And if you didn't want to pay upwards of like $3,000-$4,000 with an XG Mobile solution, there's now a cheaper option that is almost as powerful as those XG Mobile solutions. I mean, not nearly as powerful as that 4090 XG Mobile, but that thing costs $2,000. So I think this is a great idea. I'd love to see more manufacturers bring these to market, and I'm super excited for this device and what the future holds. Now, just one more thing. If you notice that there was a little shiny sticker on here, this is just a sneak preview for those of you who stuck around to the end of the video. I'm working on a product currently that I'm going to talk more about in the future. But I just want to show you this. As we all know, the Surface Pro 9, it can have issues with throttling. And we all know that using some sort of fan as a solution can help performance drastically. Now, I've been working, and I don't know why I didn't do this years ago, but I'm talking too much about this. It's not quite ready, but soon. Check this out. If you want to know more, ask me in the comments.